Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a sleep hypnosis session created for a client that was overthinking and had a tendency to feel like they needed prescription medication to help them sleep. And what was evident with this particular client is that they had a series of events in their life that led them to have periods of depression or severe anxiety and panic attacks. But it was a combination of things from the past, but also overthinking about changing the past events, but also what things meant for their future and their current situation would lead them to feel restless and not sleep in the way that they would want to sleep. But they had moments in their life where they slept really well. So being on a boat and the rocking motion of the boat on the water helped them sleep well, or being in a luxury hotel room where they could hear the sea and they slept really well in that environment. So there's a few things that's going to be going on in this particular hypnosis session. One of them is this multiple levels of disassociation. So there's a disassociation to a familiar place where they felt safe, a sitting room. And then the sitting room leads to the yacht with a very comfortable bed and that rocking motion where they could imagine drifting off to sleep. And then from there into this luxury hotel room where they could hear the sea. But then there's an element of letting go of emotional baggage of the past, and that's it's a tendency of certain people to almost collect emotions and almost save them, hold on to them over time throughout their life. So this is a hypnosis session that sometimes I use this technique when I'm working with people to help them lose weight, because quite often the physical body weight is just a representation of the emotional weight that they're carrying. But in this case, it was the weight of the emotions that was affecting their sleep. So there's an element of changing the location and feeling of these emotions, but then having a metaphor to really let go permanently, to hold on to the wisdom, but let go of the actual feeling. So there's a few things going on here. And in this particular episode, there isn't going to be the standard awakening and kind of music outro, because it's a good session to listen to right before you sleep to drift off into a nice deep sleep. So find a quiet place, ideally your bed, make yourself comfortable, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, so just release any tension in your eyelids. Relax your neck. And as you breathe out, just feel like tension is leaving your body. On the next inward breath in, just imagine that you're breathing in glowing, healing white light. You can see the brightness of the light going in through your nose, filling your lungs. But as you exhale, I want you to notice that a grayish color is feeling like it's leaving your body. And the darkness represents the tension, any stress, any worries. That's it. Just relax your eyelids. That's it. Deeper relaxed. I want you to imagine that you're focused on a point on your forehead with your eyes closed. Almost imagine a third eye. As you continue to breathe in that healing white light, exhaling any stress, any tension. As you focus on that point in your forehead, feel the heaviness of your eyes. And then on the next outward breath, just release the tension around your eyes. That's it. Enabling you to release that tension. That's it. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you temporarily to increase tension. I want you to clench your fists, tighten the muscles in your arms, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead. Make everything really tense and tight. And on the next outward breath, just let all of that go. And in doing so, notice you're feeling deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. I want you to use the power of your imagination to think of a memory of the past. I want you to remember a sitting room where you felt safe and relaxed. I want you to imagine you can go back in time to that sitting room and remember things that you were able to picture in detail, like an impressive backgammon table. The color, the material, the texture of furniture. Maybe there's a smell in the room, a certain carpet or flooring, curtains or artwork. And as you breathe in and breathe out, just get a sense that you're making yourself comfortable in that room. Maybe there's a chair, a sofa, somewhere to relax. And I want you to imagine that you can pause time in this moment, in this room. You can just make everything still. You're still breathing in and breathing out, but everything, the entire world, is on pause. You're just here in this room. Nothing exists outside of this room. Everything is stationary, nothing moves. Everything is paused and you're just able to relax in this room. And I want you to imagine in that place of comfort, feeling safe. How could you be unsafe when the entire world is paused? Nothing can happen. Nothing changes. I want you to accept the suggestion that as you breathe in and breathe out, you're letting go of any worries, any stress, any tension you're holding on to. I want you to imagine somewhere in this room, almost looks like there's a hidden door. It was always there, you just didn't realize. Time is paused, but you can discover this hidden door. Behind the hidden door is a staircase. It's going down, and as I count down from 10 to 1, you will imagine walking down the staircase. With each descending number, you're going to feel 10% deeper and deeper relaxed, feeling like you're accessing a deeper part of your subconscious mind. That's it. Standing at the top of that staircase, starting to walk down. 10. Taking that first step, feeling tension leave your eyelids. As you breathe out, just feeling more relaxed. 9. Another step down the staircase. Deeper relaxed. 8. Further down, arms feeling limp, loose, heavy. 7 and 6, just breathing in more effortlessly. 5 and then 4. Deeper and deeper relaxed. Those same muscles responsible for surprise and concern there on your forehead, you can just breathe in, and then on the next outward breath, just release any tension around the forehead as you continue to go down the staircase. 3 and then 2. But at the bottom of a staircase, looks like the door to a bedroom in a yacht. 2 and then 1, getting to the end of that staircase, and just open the door. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, walking through that door. And I want you to see a bedroom of a luxurious yacht. I want you to accept the suggestion that you're now safely in a room on this yacht. It's evening and you feel sleepy and tired. But just as the entire world was paused in that sitting room, the entire world is paused here on this yacht, with the exception of the waves. The waves continue to rock from side to side. And I want you to use your imagination to imagine that you're making yourself comfortable on that bed, feeling the weight of your head on the pillow, feeling the fabric of the sheets and the duvet cover, accepting that you are safe, you are secure, you are surrounded by the sea, a moat of protection, but also the freedom of the waves to go wherever you choose. With your head on the pillow, I want you to feel an increasing feeling of sleepiness, drowsiness, accepting that you are safe, you are secure, but also remembering a time when you yawned. Not just a casual small yawn, but a deep, long yawn. And the idea of yawning activates those neurons in your mind to feel safe and sleepy. That's it. I want you to imagine that your arms are just by your side on that bed in that yacht. Limp, loose, heavy. Feeling so relaxed. And there's times sometimes where you're fighting to stay awake and the urge is irresistibly to just sleep. But I want you to imagine that you're about to drift off to sleep there in that bed in that yacht, feeling the rocking motion of the waves. As I count down from 5 to 1, I want you to imagine what it would be like to sleep. Not to sleep, but to imagine sleeping. And then imagine dreaming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just imagine you've drifted off to sleep and you're dreaming. You're dreaming of an amazing hotel in Zanzibar. I want you to remember the room, the suite, the cool breeze on your skin. I want you to imagine hearing the sea, the gentle breaking of the waves on the shore. And I want you to get a sense that everything is still paused outside. The world has stopped. Only the waves continue to break. I want you to imagine that you've got the freedom of doing whatever you want in this room. You can look at the views, you can relax, and you can rest. And if you choose to, you can lie on that bed, feeling your body weight sink into the bed and feeling an irresistible desire to sleep. I want you to accept the suggestion that the past is the past. And there is baggage that people accumulate in their lifetimes from their past. So I want you to imagine that you're standing somewhere in this room, in this hotel in Zanzibar, with 2 empty bags, a bag in each hand. They're empty. But I want you to scan your body for any feelings of anxiety, any worries, any concerns. Just scan your body, and if you feel any clues of anxiety, just feel like you're moving that sensation, that feeling of anxiety, normally in the gut or the chest, and just move it from there into one of those empty bags. Notice the bag feels heavier. But a heavier emotion than anxiety is guilt. I want you to scan your whole body for any feelings of guilt. People sometimes are guilty that they did something that they rather they didn't. Or maybe they didn't do something and they wish they did. I want you to scan your body for any feelings of guilt and just shift the weight of that emotion from you to the empty bags, and the bags are now feeling heavier. I want you to scan your body for grief, loss, disappointment. Maybe there was a time where someone important, meaningful, was no longer there, but you valued that, and it left a feeling of a heavy heart. And I want you to take the heaviness of that emotion and just shift it from your body, psychologically placing it in the bags and feeling the bags are getting heavier and heavier. I want you to scan your body for any feelings of anger, frustration, pain, resentment. Scan your body for any emotions that feel like you've been holding on to them for too long. And as you scan your body, move them from your body into the bags and just notice these bags are feeling very heavy now. These empty bags aren't light and empty, they're filled with heavy emotions, but heavy emotions that are no longer useful for you. I want you to extract all the wisdom, all the insight, all the lessons you've learned from the past, but realize you don't need to hold on to these heavy emotions anymore. The past is the past, and you're wiser for it. And as you hold on to those bags of pain, heaviness, regret, frustrations, loss, and sadness, just hold on to all of them. Feel the weight of those bags. And then imagine that you're teleporting over the ocean there in Zanzibar, and feel how good it feels to float over the sea and just let go of those bags. See them fall into the ocean. And you feel light and free. And then float back into that luxurious hotel room, but feeling lighter. Feeling that you've let go of things that have needed to have been let go. And now as you put your head on that pillow, you're able to feel so deeply relaxed. I want you to get a sense that this journey can be used in two ways. To let go of emotions that are no longer helping you, but also to take you on a journey into a level of disassociation to enable you to sleep safely and relaxed. And at some point in the future, you may listen to this where you want to awake after listening, and other times you might want to allow this recording to just be a stepping stone into deep, rejuvenating sleep. In which case, I'll count from 1 to 10, and if it's the right time to wake up, you will awaken. But if your unconscious mind feels safe and protected and has a desire to sleep, this is not counting to 10 to awaken you. This is counting to 10 to allow you to have a drift into deep, rejuvenating sleep, and you will awaken when it's time to awaken the following morning, feeling fresh, energized, and rejuvenated. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,